Guys, your food Sabi here. I'm gonna start Chaos Head. Do 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 do. Whoa, whoa. Continue. Yeah. You know we're gonna continue. I decided to do some more research on mind reading while Rimi was out on her run to the store. I turned towards the PC and noticed that Grim was in the chat room calling for me. I sighed and entered the chat room. Damn it, what does it even mean to go, whose eyes are those? You just wanted to say that. Every time I see those words, it scares me. Dang, Grim's a butthole. Type back to this moron.
Mata.
I felt the same dark terror I always felt, but I also felt confused. I felt sure Shogun and Yua were going to come after me next, but instead, they're going after someone else. Of course, it was hard to say if I should be happy about that or not. Alright, let me see. Look, I had to make sure everything works.
待て
I panicked as Grim started to give me the details without any warning. I already heard and seen enough disgusting stuff. I didn't even want to hear about it. If I did, I might end up imagining it happening to me too. I didn't even have my D sword yet either. But Grim continued, oblivious. What the fuck? My body shook with fear. I pulled my knees close to me and wrapped my arms around them. He said, how do you think they died? Malnutrition? They survived losing their brain? What does that mean? I didn't want to hear anymore. Just please leave me alone. My HP was already at 0. Whoa! So he was moving around? He lived 1 week without his brain? How does that work? A psychiatrist. Looking at the words made my heart race. Maybe I was overthinking things, but I didn't want to know. But part of me felt like I had to. I hesitated for a long time and finally clicked the link about the brain dead story at the top of the taboo news. Oh, dude, that was my doctor.
Nante koto da. Nante.
The victim name was Fumio Takashina. It was Dr. Takashina. Dr. Takashina had been killed. They were taunting me. Shogun was clearly taunting me. He killed Dr. Takashina, the man I was counting on to help me, just to scare me more.
Sonna.
He's looking at Sada-chan to help her. Help him. I screamed. My head felt like it was tearing itself apart. I was going crazy. Damn.
Yada!
Rimi! I looked around the room for Rimi. I kept looking and looking and looking. She wasn't here. She wasn't here. She wasn't here. Why wasn't she here? She left to go to the store. I fell to the ground, head on my hands.
僕を助けて、リミ。助けてよ。どこにも行かないで。頼むよ。
Huh? There was an answer. What the fuck? I gasped and looked up, and Rimi was standing right next to me, holding a bag from the store.
リミ。
When did she get here? She was back. Phew, relieved. I stretched out a hand. Rimi crouched down and took it with both hands. The last time I touched them, Rimi's hands were cold, but now they were so warm.
ここにいる。私はここにいるから。怯えないで。
Rimi smiled gently at me and wiped my tears away with her fingers. I was really pathetic. Crying, screaming, being afraid like this in front of a girl. But Rimi said she'd be with me anyway. Right now, the only thing keeping my mind from shattering was this warmth. I didn't want to let go of this hand, not until I had the D sword. Something very strange was happening in Miyashita Park in the depths of night. Whose eyes are those? 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 A large group were huddled in the middle of the park. There were at least 100 people there, probably more. Most of them were in their teens. Some were in their high school uniforms, while others were girls wearing fashionable clothes. There were boys wearing otaku-style glasses too, even ganguru girls that wear safe these days. From a distance, it looked like some kind of local event, but if you got up close, you realized how strange it was. Everyone was looking down at the ground, with blank stares on their face. There were so many people here, but nobody was talking to each other. They were just standing there, unmoving. Everyone was smiling a little as they mumbled and muttered to themselves. They were all endlessly repeating the same words. Dare, mega. Dang, that's all I know. Because I know me means eyes, right? What is God? What's mega? Me is eyes. Dare me. Dare me. I don't remember how to say it. There was no emotion in their voices. The words came out of the mouth of 100 people, flat and toneless as a monk reciting sutra. Of course, there was almost nobody else in the park, probably because they didn't want anything to do with this strange crowd. The woman coming through the park on the way home from work, the old lady walking their dogs, they all turned and ran when they saw this bizarre sight. There was one man, though, who was watching them carefully. He seemed to have some involvement in the group, but he was standing a good distance away. He was wearing an outfit that would fit right at the Akirabara. Plaid shirt, jeans, beat-up sneakers, fingerless gloves, and a red bandana. He had a huge green backpack on his back. He was badly overweight, and his shirt buttons seemed like they might burst at any moment. It was late October, so the weather there was cold. He was sweating and constantly wiping his forehead down with a hand towel. He seemed worried about something, as every few seconds he would look around and check over his shoulders. Between these checks, though, he would let his shoulders sway and grin with joy. There was another sound in the park alongside the strange chanting coming from the group. It was the sound of some kind of machinery, and it was coming from his backpack. Another teen came to the park. This one is a teenage girl in an unbuttoned blazer. She walked right toward the rest of them, showing no signs of fears at the strange chanting. Her long black hair flowed in the wind with every step she took. For some reason, she had half-eaten popsicle in her hand. She's gonna get diabetes. The group ignored her completely. They were lost in their own world, endlessly repeating the same phrase over and over. The fact that ignore her didn't seem to bother her at all. When she got close to the group, she suddenly stopped. She stood for a moment, eating her popsicle with an air of indifference. You could hear the sound of crunching ice coming from her mouth when she took a bite. When she finished her popsicle, she looked at the stick, then grunted in frustration and threw it on the ground. Her gaze was sharp as she examined each individual in the crowd. The man with the backpack screamed, as if he couldn't take it anymore. The girl, Sena Oi. had noticed that he was the only person paying any attention to her. She snorted derisively at him, then suddenly crossed her hands and stretched them out in front of her. The space around her seemed to blur slightly, and the fuzzy outline of metallic pole began to appear out of thin air. It passingly resembled a hoe, but maybe a shovel, but it didn't really look like either of them. It was a sharp blade that split just above the handguard. The blur faded away and the web became solid. Senna grabbed it tight with both hands, and that wasn't all. With both ends of the blade she was holding, as well as the space off his right side, began to glow with a blue light. Whoa. More metal parts appeared in the glowing space, just like before. Then, with a heavy clanking, she fused themselves to the first blade. In the end, they formed a ring, and it had a long trail of light stretched out to his right. A long blade split as if in half. It appeared alongside the light. I forgot to trim my beard, man. I hate it when it gets too long. It'll start touching my neck, and it's annoying. What had started as a sort of hoe or shovel had now become a massive sword. Sharp and elegant, pure and destructive, terrible and beautiful. The impossibly large weapon was now held tightly in Senna's hands. The man with the backpack didn't react. He simply frowned and stared at Senna. The tone of his voice, which has a high pitch for a man, was arrogant and brash. He waved a hand, shooing her off. You know, just because you got a high-pitched voice as a man, don't take that as an insult. That probably means you can sing really well. Take it as a compliment. Senna quietly opened her mouth to speak. It was more of a rhetorical question than an actual one. Her eyes were locked on the man in the backpack. He started to get scared. Hatano. The man went pale and stepped back, and didn't answer her question. The crowd continued to murmur, "Whose eyes are those?" without showing the slightest bit of interest in it. If anything, it seemed possible the crowd didn't even see them at all. Senna and the backpack man were both staring at each other. The first to look away was the backpack man. What a moron. You just told her that you know him. Kill him, Senna. Wait, that's not your name. I forgot your name. It is Senna. Senna fell silent, swinging the sword. Senna. Senna fell silent, swinging the sword around to her front, and taking a fog stance. She bent her knees and leaned forward. Fog stance. What's this? What the hell is this? Etc. Pedica. Currency. Brain deaf. What the hell? I might have to. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I believe this, even though it isn't a wiki. Can you really live without a brain? I find that very hard to believe. I'm like rubbing my beard. Man, it's too damn long. Keep touching my neck. Commonly misunderstood vegetation, blah blah blah. The brainstem and cerebellum is still active. There's no consciousness. Let's breathe on its own. Ooh. Japanese law says this specific condition. Brain death, the following 5 criteria must be met twice. Pupils fixed in a dilated state. Absent brainstem reflex, stable brainwaves. That's very interesting. I didn't know that. What's this one? Theatrical. Oh, fuck. That's gruesome. I like that. You hold it to their eye so you can poke them with it. A fog has set over their vision. Alright. That's cool. What are you gonna do with that?
誤解する
The sword glowed again, but instead of the pale light it had been at first, it was not red violent. There was a sudden sound, like a woman's high-pitched scream. The air shook. It wasn't any sort of metaphor or simile. The air was physically moving. The space itself had begun vibrating, centered around Senna's sword. The red blade had become so intense that it was hard to look at. Senna let out a small breath, and then she gritted her teeth hard. Oh! What did she do? The noise grew louder. Lightning bolts raced from the blade. The sonic wave blasted the air itself. The vibrating sound stopped immediately afterwards, but the blade was still flashing red, like a pulsing vein. Senna slowly pointed the sword toward the man with the backpack. The crowd around them, which had been ignoring them thus far, finally took notice. It seemed like they regained their senses, because they ran for the park without knowing what had happened. Senna ignored them, keeping her eye fixed on the man with the backpack. The man had been different before, but now he is very afraid. His face was pale, and he was slowly stepping away from her, shaking his head as to say, no.
待って俺は畑野なんてやつ本当に知らないんだただ指示されただけ誤解するなと言ったはず
Senna ignored the man, please.
質問したのはただの挨拶代わりだお前が何を答えたってそれを壊すことに変わりはない
That was a fierce light in her eyes. The man with the backpack screamed pathetically before he turned and ran. But the direction he chosen was right toward the stampeding crowd. With nowhere to run, he froze. And then Senna was already leaped towards him, closing distance in an instant. Oh! Whoa! What the fuck? He was a robot. What? Dang, she's cool, bruh. I told you she was my favorite. Her strike was quick and powerful. My favorite is... I forgot her name. Short hair girl and Senna. I like both of them. I remember from the anime at least, I like Senna the most. I think it's probably going to be the same in the visual novel. So strong and so fast that it was hard to believe. I always liked this type of character archetype. They never get like the main character role. Unless it's Yuri, for some reason. I guess it makes sense if it's Yuri, but I mean, I guess I don't mind if it's Yuri either. But I mean, come on, bruh. Why isn't this character type used too much? Do people not like it? I like the Kudirs. I think Kudir is cool and badass. I guess it's not Eroi though, but it doesn't need to be, does it? Whatever. That's why Miyu, I think that's her name, and Chaos Child. That's also, well, she's my second favorite. My favorite is Nono. I still like Kurisu Nono because of, well, part of it is because of her name. I like that name. I think that's her name. What am I thinking about Miyu? Was it Miyu? Does Miyu have Kurisu? Who had Kurisu? I don't remember. Well, whatever, bruh. Nono was my favorite Chaos Child. And then I think Miyu was my second favorite. I think Miyu's the girl with the black hair. I don't really remember all their names. It came from her frail body. She swung her blade in an arc, slicing through the man's backpack and destroying what was inside. Oh, that's his backpack. The impact blew the man backwards. He fell into the ground, curling up in a ball, shivering. He didn't have the strength left to run. He pissed himself in fear, and a dense spot was forming in his pants. Senna walked over to him, showing no interest in the man himself. Instead, she looked down into what was left in his backpack. There was a machine inside, shooting off a small plumes of sparks. It looked something like a bulky modem, but now it has been smashed into useless pieces by Senna's sword. The loud mechanical noise emanating from a moment ago was now nowhere to be heard.
Nozomi.
She whispered his name to no one in particular. There was hatred in her voice. Oh no, wrong button. You see the symbol? Nozomi. let's see. As autumn grew deeper, the air got colder. It was hard to believe that I'd been wearing short sleeve just a while ago. The sky above me were hazy, but its color was starting to fade. The leaves at the park were sprightly colored through. Maybe the trees were stealing the color of the sky. I looked up at the sky and jammed a toothbrush in my mouth. The nice things about the base was that I had the whole roof to myself without worrying that anybody would see me. The sink was on the shipping crate outside, which made it rough when it rained, but on days when the weather was clear, I always brushed my teeth outdoors. I rubbed my sleepy eyes as I brushed my teeth, remembering what happened yesterday. Rimi had stayed with me until late at night. She even held my hand for the hour or so it had taken for me to calm down. She'd gone home without anything else happening, though. If I went to girl in the same room for hours and nothing romantic happened at all. If I had the conversational skills necessary to make something happen, though, I would have had a girlfriend ages ago. If anything, I was disgusted at myself for hoping something would happen at all. Rimi was trying to help me purely as a friend. Rimi offering to stay with me as one of the few things even keeping me together. Having that support made a huge difference. Despite the shock of Dr. Takashina dying and the brain dead murdered, a day later I was actually feeling fairly stable. What was up with the other Rimi clothes, though? She was way too real to be hallucination. I couldn't imagine that she found a way to change her clothes that fast right next to me. She had no reason to do so anyway. Which meant that it was like how Ayase had split. It was my delusion. The power to project delusions into reality. Did it really exist? Was Shogun after me because I had it? If I did have that power, memories from when I was young came back to me. The day I hadn't been able to go on the field trip. The day I was the only one who didn't get in an accident. The bus had crashed and all my classmates had gotten hurt. My teacher, Mr. Saito Sensei, there you go, had died. You can say Saito-san too. That's Mr. Saito as well, but he's a sensei. I seen the images in my head so clearly. I could see every detail. What's that? Really just me seeing the future? If maybe. That wasn't me seeing the future, but just my delusion. And what if I made that delusion a reality? My whole body felt like it was about to start shaking. I wrapped my arms around myself to keep my body still. Yo, murderer. Yeah. I mean, no shit, bro. I was a murderer. Who is this? Imoto-san. Rimi. Rimi was there. She was incredibly cheerful for it to be this early in the morning. Seeing her smile made my shaking stop. It was so strange. Normally I couldn't stand being around 3D girls, but for some reason being with Rimi made me feel better. Oh, right. According to my schedule, today was a school day. When I told Rimi about that yesterday. Right. Thanks to Shogun, I was afraid to even go outside now. That was why Rimi had offered to stay with me. She was keeping her promise. She gave a mischievous wink. Was this an H game? In the real world, your female classmate didn't come to pick you up on the way to school. It would have been even better if she come into my room and I was still asleep and woke me up. But you can't have everything, I guess. As I lost myself in the silly delusions, Rimi suddenly looked up at the sky. She was looking at something far away again. Sunlight contains a spectrum of 7 colors. the same colors seen in the rainbow. For those 7 colors to reach the human eye, they had to pass through the Earth's atmosphere. When that happens, a phenomenon called scattering color occurs. Basically, the light collides with the molecules in the air and gets bent in random directions. And when the light bends in random directions, it starts flying all over the place. The more it scatters, the easier it is for it to hit the human eye. Excuse me. The colors which scatter most easily were purple and blue. That's why the sky was blue. I am very smart. You know, I bet that answer is probably going to be related to the story in the future. They usually do this type of stuff in this novel, visual novel. They like give you like some weird random scientific fact, and then it gets applied in like a really weird situation, an anime situation, like the next scene. So we gotta remember that. Hey, they're gonna apply it somewhere in the story. But Rimi's answer was very different from my dull scientific one.
きっと寒くてみんなが下を向いちゃうから
Oh shit.
青を望む人の数が減っちゃうの
What? Rimi has said something like that before, but when was it again?
だから寒くても上を向いて歩こ
I don't know why people wink. I tried winking and I didn't like it. It felt weird. I like blinking with both my eyes. I quickly changed, and Rimi and I left the Kurenai building together. Together, going to school with a girl was something normal people did. Hey, what song is this? This is the opening? I was still scared of Shogun and Yua, and I hated them, and I wish they would die. I meant it too. It wasn't just something I was just saying, but thanks to them, I was able to experience what a normal person life was like. Maybe I could be a little grateful, just a little. Or at least I tried to make myself think that way. But when I did, Dr. Takashina's face came back to me, and any joy I felt slipped away. You didn't actually just call him Takashina Sensei. I'm gonna do that. The weeb in me likes that. It might have been my fault he was killed. Takashina Sensei was connected to me, so Shogun had killed him, either as a warning or a way to provoke me. I was overcome with fear and worry. Little by little, I was starting to fall behind Rimi. I took a quick glance at the back of her head. What kind of look was on her face? She was humming a song. It was a song from the Phantasm CD I lent her last night. Her steps looked light and carefree. We weren't even talking. How could she seem so happy? Looking at her helped my worries a little. But to be honest, why was she being so nice to me? Was the answer inside my memories of her, the ones that I didn't remember? When we got to school, I sent her ahead and went to the bathroom. It was another survival technique of mine. I really appreciated what she was doing all this for me, but going to school with a girl in tow would mean standing out way too much. In particular, there was no telling what the DQs in my class would think. So, to make it look like I would come to school alone, I slipped into the bathroom and killed some time. This turned out to not work, however. I left the bathroom, trying my best to act natural, and kept my head down as I walked on the side of the hallway toward my classroom. Before I got there, though, I could see Ayase walking toward me. Alright, Ayase's cool. I like Ayase. Oh, fuck! She's small? What? Our eyes met and her lips curved into a slight smile. Ayase was famous. I didn't want to risk attention by talking to her, but she stood in front of me, blocking my path. I didn't have a choice.
匠あれから警察はどう
I put my hand over my mouth to stop myself from screaming. But why would you talk about something like that with all these people around? A quick look around. This was incredibly bad. Ayase was a local celebrity. It was rare enough for her to come to school, but not only that, she was a vocalist in a famous band, Phantasm, and pretty to boot. Everyone, boys and girls both, were interested in her. Normally there'd be no way she talked to a loser like me. The gaze of the people around me were causing me physical pain. I wanted to run away.
剣を探して。君はそうしなくちゃいけないのよ。
She always said the same thing whenever we met. There was a chance Ayase was on my side, but having her say the same damn thing every time was getting on my nerves. I went to find it too. I just didn't know how.
ヒントが欲しい。君はどうやってあれを手に入れた？
いつの間にかそこにあった。
That again? Was she just screwing with me?
気づかなかったわ、最初は。でもちょっとだけ見方を変えたら分かった。もしかしたら匠にももう見えているのかも。見ていないだけで。
What the hell did that mean? I was gonna say the same thing. I'm like, wait, I could see it, but what she said? Maybe you could see it, you just don't. What? Maybe you got tunnel vision. Talking to Ayase was always exhausting. It was like some weird Zen coin thing.
剣はちゃんと探してるよ。僕だって絶対手に入れたいから。
I sighed as I answered, and then the gaze of the people around me grew too much to bear. I ran past Ayase into the classroom. What I find there only made me feel worse. Mizumi and some other boys were staring at me in shock. Crap, they see me talking to Ayase. This is bad. I didn't know what they're going to say. If I was lucky, they might just make fun of me, but there was also the chance they might do something a lot worse. I looked down and headed to my seat, trying to make myself as small as possible. Please, just let everyone leave me alone.
Oi, oi, oi!
My prayer went unheard.
タク、てめえいつの間に？今、岸本と話してたよな。
The most I could do was shut up. I couldn't look up.
岸本が誰かとまともに会話してるとこ初めて見たぜ。一体どんな手使ったんだよ。
Please don't talk so loudly that the rest of the class can hear. Please just leave me alone. I'm not going to try and date Ayase or anything. It's not like I have a chance anyway. So please, just calm down.
なあタク、教えろって。
大地、
Rimi interrupted.
落ち着け。タクが困ってるでしょ。
悪い悪い。
Mizumi dropped his voice low and patted me on the back. I sighed a little without looking up. Rimi had saved me again.
で、実際のところどうやったんだ
Mizumi was, as always, a man thought only with his little head.
もう大地ってほんと節操ないよね。そのうち彼女さんに刺されるんじゃない？
Damn.
心配すんなって。俺こう見えても各種ケアは欠かさねえから。
何それ？
なあタク、教えろよ。岸本とはどんな感じなんだ？
Mizumi was rubbing my shoulders. He wouldn't let the subject drop. I looked up, afraid. Half the boys in the class were whispering to each other and glancing at me. This is bad. They were still looking at me. Don't look at me. I felt the prickling at the back of my neck. If the DQns came after me, I was finished. My life would become a hell of bullying. What should I do? Run? Cut class and go home? But I couldn't go home alone. That thought of running into Shogun Yua was too much for me. Have Rimi come home with me? She said she was always carrying devoted type. If she wasn't lying, she skipped school alongside me. I just need to get out of here as soon as possible. Suddenly there was a loud noise at the entrance. Everyone turned to look at it. It was the transfer student. She was rubbing her tear-stained eyes and bowing in apology to everyone she could see. As always, she was completely silent. The entire classroom also fell silent at this sudden development. What had just happened?
今の見たか？
No. What
見
happened?
た。一人で勝手に扉に激突してたね。
She's a moron. I meant clumsy. My
やっ
bad.
ぱ梢ちゃんは可愛いな。
Oh yes, moe.
な
I never seen somebody so clumsy outside of an anime.
また泣いた。大丈夫かな。すごい音してたけど。
Rimi whispered, worried, and headed to the transfer student faster than anybody else. She was pretty nosy from the look of it, or maybe kind was the better word.
うお、リミに先越された。待て待て、梢ちゃんを解放するのは俺だ。
Mizumi shouted as he raced after her. Kazui's accident was, for me, good luck. All the boys who'd been staring at me were now looking at her. Gee, good job, transfer student. But I happened to hear what some of the girls near me were saying.
うざ。何あれ。狙ってやってんじゃん。
Man, why are they so... They're fucking bitches. Fuck them. Just a few faint whispers. You can't tell me you never ran into a door in your life. I don't know if I
視
ever
界
did, to
に
be
は
honest.
デッドスポットと呼ばれる通常は使用されることのないいくつかの神経チャンネルが存在することをご存
Is
知で
it
すか？
bug? I can still hear the student's background, right? Yeah, it's still playing. You can hear it too.
それ
I
が
think
第
they
二
forgot
世
to
代と
do
何か
take
関
that
係
out.
があるのかね。
Maybe there's like people talking in the background.
そういうことになります。簡単な実験をしてみましょ
My show.
う。これをご覧ください。
All right, there's a dot and there's a circle.
子供騙しを聞いている暇はないぞ。
No, you're not, old man.
重要なことですよ。この図には左側にドット、右側にリングがあります。
Damn, I'm smart. I knew it. Psychic smart guy. I don't know what I was going with that, but fuck it.
では、
That sounds cool.
左目を手で覆って見えないようにしてください。
Okay. What the hell? I can still see. How is this possible? What? Oh, fuck my right eye. Dude, my right eye has way more range than I thought. Whoa, my left eye has way more range than I thought. No wonder people could see with one eye. Holy shit. Dude, what the fuck? I'm only losing like a small percentage of my field of vision. So if you lose one eye, you don't lose. I thought you'll like lose like 50% of your vision. I thought you're gonna be 50% blind. It doesn't work like that. If you lose like one of your eye, then it's like 20% of your vision. All right, let's do the test. Let's cover your left eye. All right.
そのまま右目だけで図の左側にあるドットを見つめてください。
Okay.
いかがですか？
Oh.
ドットを見つめる目の端の方にリングも存在しますか？
Not in the corner of my eye. That shit's like... Yeah, I can still see it. Right? Yes.
いくらドットだけを見つめていても、隣にあるリングがついでに見えているのは当然だと思うがな。
You think? Bro, just do it. I can still see it.
では先生、ドットだけを見つめたままモニターに顔を近づけていってみてください。
Closer to the monitor.
隣のリングはどうなりますか？
I think I can still see it.
ほう、
What?
これは
What, old man? No. Oh, fuck. I can't see it. I don't know. I don't know.
興味深いね。
Well, what's the answer?
右側のリングが消えた。そうですね。
I guess. Yes. Dude, this glass is foggy. I gotta clean this.
これは視界が狭まったからではありません。その証拠に、さらにモニターに近づくことで、リングはまた視界に現れます。
What? I'm not doing that shit. You get even closer.
これは一体どんなトリックだ？
Someone do this. I'm not doing that.
いいえ、トリックの類ではありません。普段は使用されていないです
Get
が、
even closer.
人間が元から持っている目の機能の一つですよ。
She's not one that's not.
これはデッドスポットと呼ばれ、
Oh, I heard of that.
ノアによって人間の視界の中に無から有を作り出す際に使用するチャネルなのです。
Classes has ended, and I was standing by the school entrance. Twilight was spreading over the sky. Several crows were slightly flying past me, flapping their wings as they receded into the distance. I was waiting for Rimi. She was on cleaning duty today. She hadn't promised to walk home with me today, but I was sure she would. I've been standing here for over 15 minutes waiting for her. I was sure what would happen tomorrow, but I made it through today. Mizumi had been so desperate to talk to the transfer student, they began to ask me any more questions about ISA. Thank you so much, transfer student. Okie dokie. Transfer student, you gotta die. Speaking of the devil, she just come walking by. She bowed at me, looking at she was about to cry. I bowed back awkwardly. And then I watched her slowly walk toward the school gate. I realized again just how small she was. She had a body of a... What do I say here? Man, fuck you, bro. You know, I have a grandma. She's like 4'5" or something like that. She's a very tiny person. I don't know if you get smaller when you're older. It makes sense why I'm so small. It runs in the genes, unfortunately. But I would never call my grandma a loli. Why can't you just call her, what's another word, bruh? Petite, right? Petite will work. I don't know, man, because, you know, there's so many bad reputation with, you know, I don't want to say that shit. And she was a klutz too. I wasn't sure about her personality, but it was probably very sweet. She ticked all the moe checkboxes. But the other girls didn't like her, supposedly. Man, this motherfuckers like him. Wait. I'm thinking, I was gonna say, because of motherfuckers like him, there's short people in this world. But then I'm thinking, oh wait, I'm the short guy too. And my grandma never had kids. That means my mom would never had kids. And then I would never be born. Alright, carry on. Continue liking short girls. I guess there's a difference between 2D and 3D. I like short girls too. I like short girls. Let's see, what's the tick? Let's see. So the moe boxes is petite, klutz, and sweet. That's 3 boxes? That's it. Okay. I like short girls too. Why not? I guess there's a difference between 2D and 3D. Alright, go ahead. Either she stabbed me or I stab her. Damn, no delusion. Suddenly my vision went black. I could feel pressure on my eyes. What was happening to me? It didn't even prevent me from thinking bad things. Could it be the legendary da-da-da scene? But scholars said it only existed in 2D. In 3D, it was just an urban legend. I never thought I'd get to experience it myself. In this moment, I became one of life's winner. Imoto-san. Oh, fuck. Of course, I knew the answer right away. I trained myself to identify voice actors just by listening to the characters. He didn't hear the wheelchair. Right. It was too embarrassing for me to say Rimi, right? No, how should I answer? What was the sound?
どう？答えわからない？
Someone was there. I sensed somebody there that wasn't Rimi. With my vision closed off, my other senses were heightened. There was another person here. And then the sound of creaking metal. Was it?
その目誰の目？
The sense of terror raced through my body. I tried to knock away Rimi's hands, but she resisted.
ちょっとちょっと、ちゃんと答え言ってよ。ズルしちゃダメなんだから。
This was weird. It didn't make sense. Why was she acting so innocent? Didn't she notice? Or was she just pretending not to notice? The fear of not knowing what was going on around me was unbearable. Rimi's slender hands were still over my eyes. I grabbed them and tried to pull them off.
タク？
Rimi kept resisting. We ended... Damn, bro, why would she let go? We ended up struggling against each other and her body pressed onto my back. I could feel the soft sensation of her breasts, but I didn't have it in me to enjoy them right now.
離せ！
Why is she so persistent in blinding this man? Let him go, Rimi. The fuck you covering his eyes for? I escaped Rimi grasp, leaped away, and turned around.
どこだ？将軍はどこに？
Rimi was standing in front of me, looking confused. I looked around. I tried to find a wheelchair. It wasn't there. He wasn't
い
here.
ない。そんな。
I couldn't see him anywhere. He wasn't outside the yard or at the entrance. I couldn't see any sign of an old man in a wheelchair.
タク、ごめん。びっくりさせちゃった。
Yes. Rimi looked apologetic. It was hard to believe she was faking it.
今、いなかった。
何が？
車椅子の老人が。
Rimi looked confused.
いないよ。私は見てない。その人と一緒だったの？
違う。そうじゃなくて。そうじゃなくて。
I was starting to lose confidence. I was sure I heard it, but did I really? The creaking sound of the wheelchair, Shogun mocking laugh. And then, whose eyes are those? Did I hallucinate that? Was I that on edge? Hey, how you say it again? Let's see. I read it a lot.
その目誰の目？
Sono me dare no me.
その目誰の目？
Okay, that's easy. Sono me dare no me. Yeah, that had to be it. Nothing more.
大丈夫だよ。
Rimi's smile looked forced to me.
私が一緒に帰ってあげるから。怖がらないで。
Can we stop by McDonald's? Oh yeah, Taco hate McDonald's. I guess that's a good thing. Fuck, what they have in Japan? I know they got Arby's in Japan, but Arby's kind of sucked, to be honest. I don't know, they might be good in Japan. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a Japanese cuisine. Let's go get some shrimp strips, I guess. Shrimp crackers, whatever you want to call them. Her words made me feel better. I let her walk ahead of me as we headed towards school gate. My school, Sume Academy, was in a luxury residential district of Shoto. All the houses in the area were expensive and gave off a sense that the people who lived there were important. But even though it was just a few minutes away from the heart of Shibuya, there weren't many people out. It felt kind of lonely.
タクって意外とモテるよね。
What girls did he talk to? Oh, I guess I say this morning, right? She startled me so much, I was gasping for air. What the heck she was talking about?
あれ？自覚ない？
She smiled and pointed her finger at my nose. You aren't supposed to point at people, you know.
だってこの前はメガネかけた3年生の綺麗な人と一緒だったし。
Oh, glasses. I was wondering why she says that. Yeah, I remember. That's Yua.
あれは
うん、昨日聞いた。タクに意地悪する人だよね。
Yeah, she's a bully. If you knew that, then why?
で、今日はあのフェスと話してた。あと折原さん、転校してきた朝に真っ先にタクに声をかけてたよね。さらに今こうして私と一緒に帰ってる。
You don't count, Rimi.
ほら、モテモテだ。
This was something I've been thinking about lately, too. Am I about to get a girlfriend? Is this a new, amazing chapter in my life? Things like that. A month ago, I never would have thought it was possible. Back then, I never even had a chance to talk to any girls except Nanami. Not even, let's keep going. I even lied to myself and everyone by saying I wasn't interested in them. Dang, they thought you were gay then, bruh. How come I had so many more chances to talk to girls over the past month? It had all started when Shogun entered that chat room. So a part of me wondered, was this whole past month just my delusions? Well, I just having a long dream? I felt like the things I was experiencing right now might all just vanish tomorrow. Sometimes it seemed that way anyway. Or had the person inside me change? Maybe the person controlling me before now just loved to play by themselves, and the character controlling me now like working with other characters. I don't like working with other characters, bro. That's why I choose red. I'm trying to get everyone killed, but it's not working. You're lucky this time, Takumi. Either way, it was hard to believe that the past month was real. Too much had happened.
っていうか、私今日初めて知ったんだけど、フェスって同じ学校だったんだね。しかも同学年の隣のクラス。
She's right next door. Alright. Nimi's voice took an excited tone. She must really be a trend follower.
昨日タクから CD 借りたばっかりだからすごくびっくりしちゃった。それにすごく可愛い子だし。
Kawaii. Rimi came around to my front. Her tone dropped to a low, hesitant one as she spoke, still walking backwards.
何話してたの？
Oh fuck. Don't tell her, Rimi. I meant Takumi.
今朝フェス岸本さんと聞かせてほしいな。私には聞く権利なんてないかもって思うけど、でも岸本さんと話してた時のタク、すごく思い詰めた様子だったから、なんだか心配で。
She even seen that too? Maybe it was safe to tell Rimi everything. There wasn't anybody else that I could talk to about it, and I was just getting tired of thinking about things on my own. I wanted somebody else's opinion. And not somebody like ISA or Senna, who just say weird, abstract things that didn't make sense. Somebody who could clearly tell me what they thought. But, well, when I talked to her yesterday, she hadn't believed the word I said.
話してたのは剣のこと。
剣って昨日タクが言ってたやつ？
I nodded.
綾瀬は持ってるんだ。
何を？
本物を。
She got a real sword. Rimi gasped, or I thought she did. Isn't that illegal? You can have a real sword. Her eyes went wide, and she seemed to stagger back a few steps. Is it really illegal to have a real sword? Isn't there people that collect them? I don't think it's illegal to have a real sword. I think it's illegal to carry a weapon, not own a weapon, right? Unless it's a gun. I think that's how it works.
嘘だ。
She sounded really doubtful.
だってあれ おもちゃでしょ？
だから僕のはおもちゃだけど、彼女のは本物で、ライブ行けば見られ。
I stopped in mid-sentence. Could she see it? Ayase had also told me that only people with the right power could see the D swords.
ライブに行けばその本物の剣を見られるの？じゃあ今度行ってみようかな。ファンタズムのライブそのものも見たいし。
I want to go there too. Yo, that would be tight. It's because I've been watching this anime called Bochi the Rock. And it low key, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of influencing me like a lot. It makes me want to visit like a local concert. You think those would be tight? Damn, that would be tight. I kind of want to go.
あ、タク一緒に行く？
Like just watch indie bands. Yo, for $20? That's how much the ticket costs in the anime for Bochi the Rock. Obviously that's anime though, but yo, for $20, I'll pay $20 a ticket. That's a whole night. Damn, that'll be tight.
見られないかも。限られた人にしか見えないらしいんだ。
そうなんだ。裸の王様みたいなものかな。
What the fuck? I never heard this before. The Emperor's new clothes. Is that like a folklore or something? So if you wear the Emperor's new clothes and only smart people could see it, does that mean the dumb people seeing the Emperor naked? What the
じゃ
fuck?
あ、私バカだから見えないかも。なんてね。
I gotta look up that lore. This is pretty funny. I wasn't sure if she could see it or not. I didn't know how a real D sword worked. Anyway, I was just going off what Isaac had said.
そんな剣本当にあるのかな。やっぱり私信じられないよ。タクが見たっていう岸本さんの剣も本物っぽく見えるおもちゃじゃないの？
でも光ったし。
おもちゃでも光るやつはいくらでもあるよ。
Damn, you ran out of answers. That was only evidence. It glows. Well, I can deny that. You could just add some lights and get a glowing effect. But the way Senna Isaac's sword had felt so real, so powerful, I couldn't believe they were toys. They had an aura about them that a fake toy could never create. And more than that, Isaac had put a sword out of thin air. It wasn't super speed or hypnosis or anything fake like that. What I seen was a glimpse of incredible power.
僕には妄想を現実に投影する力があるかも。
I was far from certain myself, but I decided to share with Rimi the possibility that I've been thinking about.
だから将軍に、狙われてる気がする。
There was no other reason for him to be coming after me, at least. There weren't many people out there as harmless as me. Most otakus are harmless. They're stuck in their own little worlds. They had time to spend bothering people in the 3D world. They'd rather spend it having fun in their minds with 2D girls.
昨日調べてた特許のこと？タクはあんな装置持ってるの？
I shook my head.
そうじゃなくて、装置とかなくても力使えるかも。
タクからかってるんでしょ？あ、わかった。何かの漫画かアニメが元ネタ？
Yeah, it's called Chaos Said. That's the anime. Rimi didn't believe me after all. But I had at least some reason to think it was true. The bus accident was in elementary school. I explained that to her too. I might be a murderer. I worried that telling Rimi might make her want to stay away from me, but I just couldn't keep it in anymore. I needed to share with someone and get it off my chest. Rimi seemed lost in thought as she listened to me stammer out an explanation, and when I was done,
考えすぎだよ。
she just laughed it away.
そう考えてることだってタクの妄想なんだよ。わかってる？
You know, I just had a flashback about Chaos Child. Honestly, comparing the two, I think Chaos Child had like one of the most gruesome murder in the series and anime, to be honest. Fuck. I just remember one murdered in Chaos Child. That one is fucked up in many levels. It's like, holy shit. I don't remember the murders in Chaos Head from the anime at least. But I don't think it topped that one. I won't say what the murder is in Chaos Child. We might play it one day on stream. We'll see. But I already played it already and watched the anime. I prefer the visual novel, obviously. The one thing I'm most disappointed in Chaos Child, I say that instead of the positive because I like everything about Chaos Child. But one thing I am disappointed about for Chaos Child, Miyu. She doesn't really have a route. The girl with the black hair. She's technically like true route, to be honest. If you want to count that as her route. She's really cool. If Nona was in the game, that would be my favorite. That would be my favorite character. There's just a delusion you're having. Do you understand that? Was I really overthinking it? I hope so. But the weird feeling in the bottom of my heart just didn't go away. Like transition. Woo. Who turned on the AC? Oh, it's getting chilly. The office smelled like dust. It was on the second floor of an aging mixed-use building. Light poured in from the huge window in the back that covered the whole wall, making the dust in the air look like powdered snow. The letters on the window that read "Trustworthiness Investigation Company Freesia" cast shadow on the desk beneath it. Excuse me. There were 20 desks in all, tightly crammed together. They were all piled high with folders and papers, in a way you might expect to see in a publishing office. Most of the desk occupants were out, with only 5 or 6 people there. But the reason wasn't because it was a Saturday. There was a schedule of a whiteboard next to the entrance. It was packed tight with writing. Yusuji Ban opened the agency door right at the end of lunch break. He walked in without knocking, and none of the people there had said a word. He gave them a friendly "Hey there" as he headed straight for the desk furthest in the back, where the heavy-set woman was sitting at a laptop. Why do you call her heavy-set?
Oh, Momo-chan, genki?
I like Momo-chan. She appeared in the sequel, Chaos Child. The woman he called Momo was Katsuko Momose, the president of Freesia. She had an annoyed look on her face and refused to even look up.
バンちゃん、また来たの？
また来ました。やっと。ニュージェネについての新ネタ、ない。
たく、私は忙しいのよ。抱えてる案件が5万ってあるの。うちみたいな零細企業は土日返上で仕事しなくちゃいけないの。わかる？
Damn, working on the weekends. Only then did she look up at him. When she saw the grin on his face, she put a hand up to her forehead and shook her head slightly.
ここは警察の秘密組織でも子会社でもないって何度も言ってるでしょうに。ただで情報もらえるなんて虫のいいこと考えてるんだろうけど、ここに来てる暇があるなら自分の足で何とかなさいな、公務員さん。
Stop wasting taxpayer money.
または依頼料を払うこと。予約表はみおちゃんにもらってちょうだい。
相変わらず冷てえ社長だな、おい。
Momose's attitude seemed to have no effect whatsoever on Ban. He waved his fan indifferently.
この会社立ち上げるときにはあんなに協力してやったのにな。
あら、ワンちゃんも恩着せがましい人だわね。何年同じこと言い続ければ気が済むわけ？
まあ言っててくれ。じゃあ依頼料はこいつでどうかな。
Ben offered her a plastic bag with the logo of a local confectionery shop on it.
なんだ、あるなら最初から出してよ。いつも悪いわね。
What did he bring her?
お茶2つ持ってきて。
Dang, I want to know who Miho is. Momose's attitude changed completely. She called out to one of their employees and opened the bag to examine the goodies.
あら、栗羊羹今が旬なのよね。わかってるじゃない。バンちゃん、そんなところに突っ立ってないで座って。
Ben chuckled as he pulled a chair over the nearby desk and sat next to Momose. A female secretary brought over 2 paper cups filled with hot tea.
で、なんか新ネタあるかい？
ちょっと待ちなさいって。
Momose carefully peeled a wrapper off one of the bar, folded it up, and then set it off to the side of her computer. Then she popped open her mouth and tossed a piece of chestnut yokon. I gotta know what a yokon is. Oh man. I don't want the controller to fall down. Yokon. Oh, what the hell is it? This? Let me see. I had these. Let me see. Did I? Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Please no help. No hentai. I don't remember. Did I have them before? Are they jelly? No, right? It's cake. Oh, I didn't have this exactly. I had green. Not like this green, but it's like other green. Yeah, it's like this kind of green. I think I had it before. It's pretty good. It's not jelly per se. How do I describe this shit? It's not jelly at all. Don't think of it as jelly. It's like fucking, oh my god, I don't know how to describe the texture. It's like it doesn't melt in your mouth. Don't get that idea. It's like fuck, I don't know. Fuck. I'm trying to remember. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. You just have to get it yourself. But it's not like jelly though. Bro, she said jelly. Bruh, I don't believe it. Jelly in my mind. When was the last time I had a jelly? All I remember is this shit is pretty good. Fuck it. It's pretty good. I like it. I'm trying to remember. It's hard. It's been so long. Fuck it. I don't even care anymore. Momose was a woman who loved Japanese confections. Whenever he wanted to know something, Ben had to bring her some kind of treat. Hey, hey.
人に言えた義理じゃないけどよ。ちったダイエットしたらどうだい？
Dude.
でないといつまで経っても結婚できないぜ。
本当に人に言えた義理じゃないわね。私はもうとっくに今期は逃したわよ。
Momose shrugged and took a sip of her tea, then turned to Ben.
また新しいニュージェネ事件起きたわね。
Dang,
こ
I
んな
haven't
と
had
こ
a
ろでサボっ
dessert
て
in a
ていい
while.
の？
The last dessert I had was like red bean with purple rice. That shit was bomb.
そっちの調査は俺以外の全員が真剣に取り組んでるさ。俺は別のアプローチから真実に迫ってやるってね。
かっこつけちゃって似合わないわよ。
Ben decided to avoid the tea until it cooled down. He couldn't handle anything, food or drink, that was too hot. The weather had turned cold, but he was still waving the fan at his face. It was a habit of his. Oh yeah,
警
CG
察
for
は
this.
G レートの線追ってるの？
そうそう、G レートね。ありゃすごいな。ももちゃんの話の通りだったぜ。
私が嘘の情報を渡すわけないでしょうに。これでおまんま食べてるんだから。それで？
まあ、勝 手に調べてるよ。
勝手にって。ちょっとバンちゃん。
Momose's voice echoed throughout the room. She was always a very forceful woman and a loud one at that. The employees at Phrygia were used to it, and none of them even raised an eyebrow at the noise. Not a day went by when Momose wasn't yelling at somebody. Man hadn't known her for years too, and had been receiving in of the yelling a dozen of times. Ironically, his reaction was to pick at his ears. Momose's tone quickly dropped. This wasn't something she wanted anyone to hear. But the smile on her face that had been there when she was eating the yokon a moment ago was now completely gone. It was replaced with a look of intense rage as she pointed her fingers at his face.
個人で追うのは危険だって言ったじゃない。政治に宗教に企業、どれだけ根深く関与してると思ってるの？この間テレビで G レートの講義をやった太田教授がどうなったか、あんたもよく知ってるでしょ。
ああ、貼り付けで殺された被害者だろ。何度も聞いたよ。
Oh, he got crucified. That's him.
何度でも言ってやるわ。え、言ってやりますとも。
Hey, they didn't really tell us who got killed. The first murder was random. It seemed random. It was a bunch of high school kids. The second murder... Was that the baby murder? The third murder was the crucified case. That's a doctor. The fourth murder was the vampire, right? And then the fifth murder is Dr. Takashina, the psychologist.
あんたはいつも私の忠告を無視するんだから。
So they uncovered two dead bodies, occupations. One's a doctor and one's a psychiatrist, kind of like a doctor.
それでいつも尻拭いさせられるのは私なんてたまったもんじゃないわ。
まあまあ、そうか。って。茶でも飲んで落ち着いたら。
Momose's reaction was to go for a second piece of chestnut yokon, not the tea.
大丈夫だって。一応諏訪と一緒に動いてるんで。今はまだ G レートやら何やらってのは突飛すぎて上を説得できねえのよ。
諏訪ちゃんは確かに有能だし、しっかりしているけど、無理させたら承知しないわよ。
ももちゃんはいつから諏訪の保護者になったんだ？
バンちゃんの無謀な行動に未来ある若者が巻き込まれるのはかわいそうでしょうに。
あ、そうか。
Ben shrugged. He tried taking a sip of the tea, but it was still too hot. He winced in pain.
しかし、バイオリズムが人を殺す凶器になるなんてこと、本当にありえるのかね？
前に説明したでしょうに。
実はいまいち理解しきれてねえんだわ。それってももちゃんお得意の電磁波と関係してるのかい
Mose sighed and drank her tea. Unlike Bond, she didn't seem to bother her.
満月の夜の事件簿はよく知ってるでしょ？
You have a crime. One night at the full moon.
ああ、まあな。
Where there were a lot of accidents and crimes at the night of the full moon. It wasn't an urban legend. It was something you could see for yourself just by looking at Tokyo police statistics.
その満月以上の力でバイオリズムカーブが上昇したらどうなると思う？
興奮するってことだろ。
それだけ？渋谷は特殊な街なのよ。言ったでしょ？ G レートが高ければバイオリズムカーブは上昇する。しかもその上昇値は満月の夜に影響する数値のおよそ6800倍。
なんと想像しにくい数字だな。
比べ物にならないくらいすごいって考えとけばいいわ。
しかし、なんで今なんだい？
殺された太田教授が言っていたのは G レートが半年前から急に増加しているせいってことね。地層の構造に大きな変化が起きない限りそんなことはありえないそうだけど。
変化ね。
そう、駅前のスクランブル交差点で火山が噴火するほどのエネルギーが必要なの。
火 山そんなに大きな力なのか。
それくらい今の GE レートはありえない状況なのよ。
それを世間に訴えようとした教授はニュージェネで殺された。
事件の前日に教授が出演する予定だったテレビ番組が急遽放送中止になった話知ってる？
確かか。
知り合いに MHK に勤めている人がいて聞かされたの。
MHK.
国営放送の番組に圧力かけられる立場なんて。
Bro, they fucking straight up show Fate Stay Night characters, Tsukihime characters. They show like Miku name in the freaking computer, and they can't say NHK. They have to put an M. That's how powerful they are, bro.
私も詳細についてはわからないわ。知ってたらとっくに告発してるだろうし。
Wires. Ben leaned forward, seemingly interested.
俺でも大体予想はつくさ。この際、はっきり言っちゃってよ。
本気で聞きたい？
Yeah.
社会の安否に踏み込むことになるわよ。いいの？
Yeah.
バンちゃん、クビになるかもしれない。
Yeah.
俺はニュージェネ事件の犯人さえ捕まえられりゃ。
Do they got unemployment in Japan?
ま、どうするかは答えを聞いてから考えるわ。
I feel like that don't exist in Japan. Mose sipped her tea, using her left hand to type into the keyboard, laptop. A document appeared on the LCD monitor. It contained a list of information that she researched on her own.
名和と
Mewa Pati. Oh. Whoa. Well, what do we have here? Damn, she got some nice lingerie though. I like that blue. Hey. All right. Hey. I gotta remind myself later on the other, you know. Oh god. Oh, I can't see it. Oh, good. Ben gave a soft, annoyed moan. But his eyes weren't laughing at all. They were filled with sharp insight of a detective. Damn it. Fuck. Did we ever zoom out on Momo-chan? Shit. Damn it. Oh, man. Oh. Alright. You keep going. Get this water. I couldn't really ask Rimi to come to the base over the weekend, so I spent 2 days alone and afraid. On Friday, Rimi had brought me enough food that I was able to spend the weekend entirely indoors, but I was still afraid enough that several times I almost sent her an email asking her to come over. In the end, I didn't though. The only time I was released from my fear was the 30 minutes when I was watching the latest episode of Bloodtoon. Even with all that was happening, I refused to give up Bloodtoon. If Rimi was a pillar of support in the 3D world, then my 2D support was Bloodtoon, or more specifically Seratan. Jesus fucking Christ, that fucking outfit, bruh. What the fuck? It's so fucking lewd. How did you think of this shit? I would never think of an outfit like that. I would think of, oh yeah, she need like pants or a skirt, and then like a shirt, jacket. Alright. This dude. Whoever created Sedaton. God damn, bro. What the hell? Then the Monday after I survived the weekend, I looked at the Fantastic Beauty on Freepera and saw that something was going on. I quickly clicked on the link and sent me to the ad channel. The place was in an uproar. Oh, H game. What? KWS. K. Majide. What happened? What the fuck? What do you mean? You didn't have to put the insexual way in there. Why you gotta be an asshole, bro? God damn. L-O-L-I. 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 What the fuck does that mean? L-O-L-I. L-O-L-I. Am I saying it right? L-O-L-I. L-O-L-I. What the fuck? LOL? Which stands for laughing out loud or laugh out loud. Why don't you just say LOL? L-O-L? You motherfuckers. What? L-O-L-I? What's the I part? Hold on. So I know what L-O-L is. I? L-O-L-I? L-O-L-I. Oh! Lowly! What? Oh. L-O-L-I. Who said that? Who's the motherfucker that said that? I did not see L-O-L-I. Oh, what the fuck? Veston! Officer, he's right there. Fuck him up. What the fuck? Yo, this motherfucker said, dude, I feel like this is real people. Well, yeah, obviously real people write this shit, but I feel like someone in the fucking internet. You know, there's always that one motherfucker. Some crazy shit You know that Twitter page where they show like girls mugshot? And you're like, yo, I could fix her. That's where the I could fix her meme came from, right? Or something like that. That just make her hotter. I could fix her. And then you got the other guy saying, never stick it in crazy. Official site down. I went to the URL that greater than 12 had posted. Let's see. Heart Medical Association was a long-established psychiatric facility. Dude, I just realized I Googled fucking LOLI. God damn it, fucking A, bro. It doesn't matter. It's what's done is done. We move on. Heart Medical Association was a long-established psychiatric facility that only treated the most severe patients. I'm on the watch list now. I did it very cleverly, though. I think I'll be okay. There was a picture of the hospital on the site, and it showed bars up the window. It looked like an old prison. I wasn't sure if it even existed anymore. The homepage hadn't updated for almost 4 years. Just like the ad Chen had said, the site had a picture of a young Ayase Kishimoto, along with a poem she'd written. Oh yeah, they definitely going to jail. Let's see. The body lurks in the shadow of a wicked heart, the thing which cannot be seen. I tried to get away from it, but this unending nightmare shall someday become a blade and slash apart my body. A shield of indifference helps the people avoid the flames of war. The enemy of this newborn battlefield is the wicked one within the heart. Evil can sometimes have a will of its own and manifest in our world. I like this game. I feel like this game, I feel like these characters have schizophrenic, and I was, you know, I think that's very interesting. I think these characters have something that's very similar to schizophrenic, for sure. I wasn't really shocked or anything. I gone to a mental hospital when I was in elementary schools too. If anything, it made me feel a little closer to her. She was just like me. I always like psychological games. I always say this every time. Psychological genre is easily my favorite genre. Right? The only reason I like horror is because that's usually the tag it comes with. Right? You know when you order like fucking a sandwich, you always think, oh, ham sandwich, ham and cheese, right? You're not going to think turkey. Nobody's thinking about a goddamn turkey sandwich. You think ham and cheese, that's a sandwich. For psychological, you think, oh yeah, horror, right? Because they always go with together. The one thing I really like about psychological genres is I think, to me, it's a very interesting subject. I play a couple of those already, right? I count Sai no Uta as a psychological horror. I also count Toteno, Yumi and Her, as a psychological horror. I also count Tsukihime as a psychological horror. And they each have different psychological breakdowns. So I won't go too deep to it because we gotta return back to the story. But let me explain one example at least. In Tsukihime, the psychological horror there is like identity crisis, right? Split personality. I think split personality is probably one of the most common traits in a psychological genre. That's what Tatsumi, that's what they kind of identify him as, right? They say he has a split personality trait, or at least Yua said that. And then there was a scene where he was shown sleepwalking. So that's definitely one, I wouldn't say generic, but probably most probably popular use of psychological, which is probably split personality. That one's a really good one. But this one in Chaos Head, it's like a mixture of different psychological. I guess it probably depends on what character you go with, right? Obviously with Yua, they probably won't go too deep into the split personality disorder. But I feel like in one of the routes, they're probably going to get into schizophrenia. And I always find that one really interesting as well. She was just like me. Despite all her popularity, despite all her charisma, she was just like me. Having this in common made the idea, and I had the same power she did, the power to project delusions into reality, feel more likely. It gave me courage and hope. But there was one problem. Until now, I blindly believe everything she said, but maybe that was a mistake. What she said about how to get a D-sword, even the fact that getting a D-sword would be what saved me, I started to doubt not what she showed me, but what she told me. Should I believe it, or I started in fright as my phone suddenly rang. Phone always loves to surprise you when you were least expecting it. That's why I hated them. I sighed and picked it up. It was probably Nanami. She's probably calling to complain about something again. What a nuisance. I hit the accept call button and put the number phone up to my ear without bothering to look at the number. Why did I do that? Why was this the one call where I didn't look at the number first? Then foreshadow. Damn. The melody coming out of the phone at an impossibly loud volume was Torianse. Torianse. I quickly looked at the number on the phone LCD display. It was the same number, but how? I thought it wasn't in service anymore. I had Naomi call it, and there'd been a message saying so. Had the person behind this prank brought it back online?
どうしよう。
I looked around the room. If Rimi was here, she could give me some advice, but she wasn't. Of course not. Rimi was at school right now. I told her I wasn't going today, and she hadn't wake me up. The melody kept playing as I sat there freaking out. A whole minute had passed. When I had it up to my ear a moment ago, I could hear other faint sounds besides Torianse. The sound of people walking and car engines, so it had to be outside. Who was on the phone? I could only think of one person who would pull a prank like this. Shogun. I turned to Sedatan, who was standing next to my PC monitor, for help.
どうしたらいいと思う、セラ。
Yo, it'll be freaky if she responded back. You think he'll be freaked out or happy if she responds back? I think he'll freak out, bruh. Sedatan smiled the way she always did. You know, I think, honestly, I do see myself a little bit in Takumi. Right? I used to, nah. I don't think I ever talked to my figurines. Was I close to? Nah. Alright, never mind. But I think, nah. Yeah. I don't know.
切っちゃえばいいさ。無視無視。
Fuck, she did talk to him.
そっか。
I forgot
そう
that
だよね。
happened.
その手があった。
Ah, yes, he's happy. I should have done that right from the start. I put my thumb to the end call button. But for some reason, see, that's why I say he got like schizophrenic. I can't say that word a lot, right? I heard it's like I don't know too much about that disease, but I heard it's like the devil whispering in your ear. The reason why I think Takumi kind of have it is because instead of the devil, well, she might be the devil. Right? It's like Sedatan, it's whispering everything into his ear. That's why I think it's like similar to that. I decided to listen to Tonyanse melody just a little more before I hung up. I was going to make an example, say example like maybe all otakus are mentally, you know, have a issue, right? Nah. I thought about myself. I'm like, I don't know, man. Not like Taku. Takumi's the next level. I decided to listen to Torianse melody just a little more before I hung up. It felt so strange. I want to hang up right now, but almost subconsciously, I put the hand with the phone up to my ear. It's the ambulance. Oh shit. Not gonna lie, that yeah, eyes wide open, bro. Caught me off guard. They came in and fled from the receiver. Incredible pain. A violent sound like a supersonic wave. The sound affected my body. My head felt like an impact, like it had been struck by lightning. My whole body froze. I screamed and I couldn't hear my own voice. I boiled over. My brain, my heart. They boiled and bubbled and started to melt. The pain tore through my body, ripping through my flesh. My mind turned to liquid and raced through my body, converging at my heart and exploding into a fine mist. I felt horrible, crazy. I couldn't even think what had happened just to me. Yeah, that's fucked up. That affected me too. Is he okay? Is this a delusion? No, it's not. When Yo Kusunoki opened her eyes, she could see that all hell had broken loose in Class 3B, her class. Several of the students were lying on the ground. Whoa! What the fuck? Their eyes had rolled back into their heads. They were foaming at the mouth, spasming and jerking. Several of the others were curled into a little ball, clutching their heads in pain. The rest were standing up one after another and leaving their room, even though it was in the middle of the class. The teacher was too busy helping the one who was having seizures to stop them. The students in the hallway were all yelling in shock, but Yua didn't hear what they were saying. Her phone had been going off inside her skirt pocket. She finally realized it was buzzing and slowly reached her hand toward it. She tried to stand up, but she staggered and fell from her chair. She crouched and leaned up against the wall. After putting her glasses back up against her face, she pressed the answer call button and put the phone to her ear.
Hi. Hi. はあ、はい？一応大丈夫です。
Her mom? She winced after she said that, then put a hand on her forehead. She could hear the voices of her classmates talking noisily outside, and teachers shouting at the fallen students to wake up, but all of this seemed to be happening very far away.
はい？あなたは
What?
はい。そうですか。それで
Her face suddenly turned pale as she gulped. She's covering the phone with her hand and dropped her voice low. It was clear that her tone, that whatever she heard, had rattled her.
そんなわけないんです。だって本当は
She stopped and let her hood droop.
本当は私
What?
なのに
The noise outside grew louder. Everyone was looking in the same direction, pointing fingers with fearful expression in their faces. The window of the hallway was rattling like it's been hit by a gust of wind.
はいそうです。私の妹です。
Imoto.
はいわかりました。
She bowed weakly, as if the person she was talking to was right in front of her, and hung up the phone. Then she looked up and toward the direction everyone was pointing.
空が
It was like someone had poured white paint on a pool of white water surface. The muddy blue of the sky was turning white. It was spreading at incredible speed. It was devouring the sky.
白く染まっていく。
Yeah, I think we're at the ending now. Chapter 5. Bro, what the fuck? Noah! Holy shit. What? Yo! What the fuck happened? Everyone just died? Or at least in the school. What the? Damn, I forgot to put them in a bikini. I was so shocked. What happened? Let me gather my thoughts real quick. Takumi. Alright, so it was the weekend. Takumi's just chilling playing his MMO. He picked up his phone, he heard the lullaby, then he heard sirens and a loud screech. And then they faded the scene, right? Takumi did mention that Rimi was at school, so it was on a school day. So the faded the scene switched to Yua. Yua mentioned something. She received a call. We don't know who it is. She said, "Who are you?" And then she just keeps saying, yeah, right? And then she mentioned her Imoto. And then she shook. She was shocked. So it's probably bad news. And she said the Sora, the sky looked white. And everyone's on the floor having a seizure. Holy fuck. Whoa. What a chapter. Alright, but we'll find out more. We'll continue chapter 6. Alright, we just finished chapter 5. We'll continue chapter 6 next time. So I appreciate everyone that stopped by. It's been cool. We'll play more later. Later, bye.